Hello, YouTube. I'm back again. I didn't really have anything planned. This was an unplanned video. I was testing out some stuff, so I figured that I would go live and see how things work. Because usually, I have stuff planned to have a set date, but today I didn't have anything planned. So I just wanted to sit up here. I just got finished watching The Walking Dead about a half hour ago. So I decided to go live and see how this worked. So see, there's nobody in the house. Everybody's probably sleeping on California time. So I'm just sit here and talk about The Walking Dead. I remember when I watched the first episode, it was unusual. I mean, it wasn't nothing spectacular. It was typical. But then after that, by the third season, the show was off the hook. Everybody was hooked. And you can learn something from The Walking Dead. They say, what does The Walking Dead has to do with prepping? I mean, it's just survival. And that's what preppers do. We always try to survive. We sit out there and we do things, we'll be scavenging for food, we'll be trying to find shelter. And that's the same thing that they did in The Walking Dead. Hey Josh, how you doing? So like I said, that's what we'll be doing, like the Walking Dead. And like I said, I love The Walking Dead. It's a shame that next year will be the last season. I mean, it's been 12 years. Hey Lori, how you doing? And like I said, I got finished watching the last episode about a half an hour ago because Daryl and Curl is two of my favorite people, in the whole thing. Hey Dave, backyard chicken and outdoors. How you doing, Dave? Yeah. And Keto Jane with Jess is in the house. How you doing, Keto? What are you still doing up? I mean, you in Ohio like me, and it's 12 here. I thought you'd be asleep by now. But see, I don't have to sleep. I don't have my grandkid tomorrow, so I'm good. I'm good. I can stay up late, watch TV, and that's what I do. I was watching TV and videos all day long. So anyway, like I was saying, I was talking about The Walking Dead, and I always wondered that would the things would have been different if Shane would have been in charge. I mean, a lot of y'all remember Shane. That was Rick's partner and Lori's baby daddy. I'm gonna say it like that because when he thought Rick was dead, him and Lori had a thing. Lori, that was Rick's wife. She died in the prison giving childbirth with a lady did a C-section on there in the jail when he was at the prison. Let's see. Yesterday I need to go to sleep. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got a lot of work to do tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow is my free day. I think I'm gonna go out tomorrow. Maybe go to the grocery store. I don't know. I got to get some AA batteries. So maybe I do that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just might sleep in. But anyway, Shane, Laurie say Shane should have lived. I thought Shane should have lived, but Shane, he really couldn't get along with Dale. Him and Dale, they couldn't get along. But Dale didn't trust him. Dale knew that Shane had shot Otis. I don't know how he knew Shane had shot Otis. It was that scene when he was at the school and they were trying to get the medicine for Carl. Cause remember when Carl got shot by Otis when he was on the farm, and Carl was standing behind the deer, and he got shot. Hey, Recyclable Homestead, and what's his name? Herschel. Herschel told them that they needed penicillin or something. So Otis and Shane went to the store. This was when they were on the farm, the season when they were on the farm, and they went to the school, to the pharmacy to get the medication, and it was nothing but walkers there, walkers everywhere. And so they both jumped out the window and hurt their ankles, and they both was walking like me. They were limping and limping, and the walker was catching up with them. And Shane pulled out his gun and shot Otis in the leg, and the walkers ate up poor Otis. And Shane, he got away, came back and told everybody, well, here's the medicine, but Otis didn't make it. And Dale said, what happened to Otis? Dale said he just didn't make it. He knew that Dale had killed him because right after that, Dale shaved his head. He was acting crazy. Yeah, let's see. I was like, oh yes, I didn't see that coming with Shane. That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. But Shane knew something ahead of time. That's why I say Shane would have been he would have been a better leader than Rick, because Rick was too soft at the beginning. He had to be harder than that. I usually asleep for Irvin's live in the mornings. Laugh out loud. Yeah, you know what? I was testing out some equipment. And so I said, I'm testing out, I'm gonna go live and see how it works. So I see I'm more in sync now, because usually when I seem to be talking, I'm usually like behind on the thing, or it just doesn't come on right. But I'm always trying to see if I can update my equipment, because I have a problem trying to get into other people's live stream. My equipment is a little bit older, I guess. It just seemed not to be compatible. Everybody uses that StreamYard, but I use a different company. I use just regular YouTube with Chrome. So, hey, Uncle Al. This is Uncle Al's time at night right here. He's out in California. So anyway, he says, dang, I got to go. Y'all love that, but it's gotta be okay. They say, like, I know, but Shane made the show more interesting. Yes, he did. Shane did make the show more interesting. Out of all the people that got killed, I was surprised when Shane got it. You know, I knew Sophia was dead. See, this is the early part of the show. Sophia, that was Carol's little girl. You know, because right after the camp got overrun by walkers and they had to leave, this is after Rick came, and they all had to leave the camp because Amy got killed, and Amy was what's her name? Andrea's sister. See, I went back and was rewatching stuff today. Like I said, I was watching TV and wrote some things down so I wouldn't forget. And they all had to go on the road, and they were stuck on this highway, and the little girl took off, and the walkers started chasing her, and she ended up in that barn with all the other walkers. She was dead. Otis had put her in there, but by Shane killing Otis wasn't able to tell him that he had the little girl because Otis was dead. See, me, I was hoping Carl get killed early in the show, because to me, Carl was the idiot. He was messing with them walkers stuck in the mud. I really didn't like Carl at the beginning. And then after a while, I started to like Carl. And then when I started to like him, he gets killed. You know, this is the one show that no matter who you are, if you're a main character, you can get killed. I mean, really, look at all the main characters that got killed. I mean, you know, Otis, Daryl, Lori, I even like Merle, Herschel. I mean, a lot of them, Beth, you know, Bob. Remember Bob? Bob, the one that they ate his leg. Those guys from Terminus, they barbecued his leg, and Bob was laughing, sitting there with no leg, and they ate it. Talk about they eating tainted meat because he got bit by a walker. That was funny. Glenn, oh man, Glenn was one of the most tragic things, because when that happened, that was a surprise. But they were talking for weeks that it might be Glenn. But what happened was, once they went over there, and they what's his name? Oh shoot, just his name. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Hold up there. I had a brain fart just now. The redhead guy, the guy with the red hair, Abraham. That's what I'm trying to think of. And I had a brain fart. Sorry, it happens sometimes when you get old. You see, Lori said, "Me too. I didn't like Carl in the beginning. I didn't like him in the beginning. He was stupid." But anyway, he became better, and then when he became better, they had to kill him off the show. Once you become the moral compass on this show, you know what I mean? First with Dale, he was the one that always tell him, "Oh, don't do this, don't do that. You know, you need to be more like this." Or Herschel, you know, then you got to do this and you got to do that. And then it was Carl, you know, Dad, you got to say this, guy. Then you might as well write your own death slip, because you're going off the show. My wife isn't responding for me now. And the cat. Yeah, so anyway, get Uncle Al. So anyway, yeah, when they beat Abraham with that bat with Lucille, that's when I thought, whoo, you know, Glenn was safe. Then they turn around and they beat Glenn too, killing two main characters of the group in one time was a surprise to me. I was shocked. People were crying. I mean, it was a big thing because see, I'm in a Walking Dead video group. That's when I had my computer in a different place and I could watch TV and communicate with them on the computer. But that was a big, big surprise. What do you think of Negan now that he is a nice guy? Jess, let me tell you something about Negan. He ain't a nice guy. He would never be a nice guy. It's just that he's nice now. But he was nice to his other people in there. I mean, the people in the sanctuary, they loved him. I mean, people was loving him in there because they were taking care of him. Same thing here. Negan went out and cut that lady's head off, even though she needed her head cut off. But Negan, I would if they kill him tomorrow, I wouldn't miss him because I do not trust him. I do not trust a leopard can't change his spots, and at any moment he could snap and go right back to doing what he was doing. He said, Lori said, I cried every time I watched that episode. You know what? It's sad. I mean, two episodes surprised me. The one when Glenn was on top of the garbage can and the guy shot himself and he pulled Glenn down. I thought Glenn was getting tore up, but he was under the garbage can. And that surprised me. And then the one, excuse me, the one when the little girl, Lizzie, remember it was Tyrese, Lizzie, Mika, the baby, and Carol. They were all in this farmhouse. They had just escaped Terminus. And they were all out there. And Tyrese didn't know that Carol had killed his girlfriend in the prison, burnt up because she had that flu. But anyway, all of them was staying there, and Tyrese was talking about we could stay here, we could make a life for ourselves, us and the two girls. And Lizzie was crazy because she was playing with those walkers like they were real people. And she said, don't worry, they can come back to life. And then when Carol went to get something, and Tyrese was in the kitchen, Lizzie was out there with the baby and her sister, Mika, and she killed her sister just to see her come back as a walker. And then she was going to kill the baby too. And then Carol said, come here. No, don't worry about it. Come on. We'll go over here and let me talk to you. Now look at the flowers. I don't know how many of you guys watched that episode. Look at the flowers. Woo! Man, she shot that girl. I don't know where she shot her at, but you assume she shot her in the head because he wouldn't come back. That was a crazy episode. Yeah. Daryl rocks. I like Daryl. But you know what? I never thought Daryl was going to be what he turned out to be because when Daryl came back when they was at the encampment right outside Atlanta before they went to Atlanta and to that CDC place, he came back and said, "Where's my brother?" Merle got handcuffed on the roof and he cut his hand out to get away. I thought he was just a simple thing. I didn't know he was this tough. I guess he got tough over the long haul. Just look at the flowers, Lizzie. Yeah, man, that was crazy. That was awesome. I mean, I love these writers. They come up with some stuff. What you'll never see is the expected. It's always the unexpected. Like a perfect example, what got me was Beth, when Daryl and Beth was hanging out, and he was hanging out at the country club, and Beth say, I want to get drunk. I never had a drink before. And she was going to drink some kind of cheap liquor. And then Daryl said, no, you got to drink some good stuff. And he took over there. I think he was drinking scotch or something. And then they went and she got kidnapped and captured by these people. And she was taken to this hospital. And she was held prisoner there. And then what got me was when they were going to make the prisoner change, when they're going to, what's his name? Oh, shoot. Everybody hates Chris. What's his name? Noah. They were going to change Noah for Beth. And then all of a sudden, Beth grabbed that girl's gun. And the girl pulled back and shot. What's her name? What was the lady's name? Dawn. She was in charge of the policeman in there and shot Beth and killed Beth. I didn't think Beth was going to die. And he shot and killed Beth. And then Beth's sister, she came in there and she no, was it Rick? It was Rick who shot Don. Yeah, because that was crazy. I thought she was gonna make it. Let's see. Daryl started to get soft when he hung with Beth. Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. He got soft. But he ain't soft anymore. But Daryl, it seemed like the writers always trying to hook him up with somebody. Always trying to hook him up with somebody. Excuse me. I thought Curl was gonna cut the dog up and make a soup. No, come on. She ain't gonna eat that German Shepherd. That's Daryl's dog. I think that's the one. That's the ninth episode. But the ninth episode was slow. I mean, because they wait for the finale next week for this season when Negan. It's a backstory on Negan. It's gonna be mostly how Negan became Negan. See, it's been speculations and stuff like that. A friend of mine, like I said, we in a group. He said Negan was a gym teacher and his wife had cancer and died, and that's what made him like he was. You know, he's one of them rough and ready gym teachers, always bullied the kids. I don't know. I have no idea. Some people say it was a used car salesman. I don't know. But we'll find out next week because, you know, a lot of stuff is not what it used to be. Daryl should hook up with Curl. Everybody's saying that. But it seems like Curl, you know, Daryl and Curl, I don't know. They're more like brother and sister because they both got serious issues. Very serious issues. But I wouldn't want to be with them be against them in a fight. Stop by to say hi, Ray. Hey, Tony, I know you're supposed to be asleep. You got to get up in a couple hours. Yeah. Yep, I know you got to get to sleep. Hey, wanted to say hello. Heritage Hearts Homestead. Yeah. So usually I don't be on this late. Usually at 12:30 I'm on the daytime. But this time, like I said, I was trying something different, testing out some equipment. And like I said, I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I'm totally free. And so I don't have to go to bed. I can stay up late. And I usually don't be up late. Like I'm going to be up tonight because I've been watching TV all day. I'm spoiled today. Yep, I'm spoiled today. I was actually eating potato chips, and I usually don't eat chips because I try to avoid salty and fried food. But I usually eat cheese. But I had potato chips. It was good. It was good. Negan was a gym teacher. Okay, Lori said Negan was a gym teacher. See, he told me he was the gym teacher. I wouldn't know that. I know I was shocked to see you. Yeah, I don't usually be on this late at night, but I was figuring I'd sit up here and I'd talk to Walking Dead. So anyway, another person that died that really shocked me, it was Herschel, the way he died. Now, now that's one of the good seasons, really good seasons when the governor was in it. The governor was crazy as a bed bug. Now, when he cut Herschel's head off, that was unexpected. I never would have expected that. You know, I thought he was gonna kill Michonne, but he cut Herschel's head off. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you, been some villains in this show. Been a lot of villains, a lot of bad guys. You know, you had those guys from Terminus, those cannibals that were at Terminus. Then you had the governor and his crew. Then you have Negan and his crews. And then you had the one group that was with Daryl when Daryl got separated from the people when the prison failed and everybody got spread out. And Daryl had that rabbit. I guess they call themselves the Claimers. This one guy wanted to steal Daryl's rabbit and they get it killing their own. But anyway, I remember when those guys, they met Rickton by the railroad tracks. Him, this guy, Daryl, and these other three guys, and they was gonna do something to Carl, you know. And Rick grabbed that guy, and they was fighting, and Rick bit that guy's throat out. I was like, "Wow!" If you, yeah, Lori, I claimed it. Yeah, if you ever see that episode, you'd be like, "Unbelievable!" I never liked actors who played the governor. You know what? I don't remember anything else but The Walking Dead. But I see a lot of other guys doing other things. The Walking Dead just ticked me off. I thought he was a stand-in for Fonzie. He was? I don't know. Fonzie. Magic Ball is in the house. Let's see. Let me yell at some people that's in the house if I missed anybody. Okay, yeah, that's about everybody because there's not too many people. Like I say, I usually don't be on this late. I'm like 12 hours from where I usually be at. But like I say, one thing about The Walking Dead, like I say, next season is the last season. So only time we get to see it is on reruns. But they got all these other spinoffs, you know. Like I watched the Fear the Walking Dead, which is coming back on the 11th. And then they got that other one with the kids out there. I don't remember the name. It's so walking something. I don't remember, but I haven't really gotten interested in that because it haven't really been as exciting yet. But Fear the Walking Dead is I put that pretty close to the same level as The Walking Dead because they got Morgan in it. Yeah, I like Morgan. Morgan been around, I think, since the first season. Yeah, I think that's one of the first people. Matter of fact, I think that was the first person Rick met. And then I'm waiting for these movies. They keep saying these movies coming with Rick is gonna be in the movies, and they say they got a movie with Rick and Michonne. Michonne found Rick, and they're gonna be in a movie together. They say it's 3 movies coming out. It's 3 movies. It's a trilogy movie for the guy that played Rick, and I can't wait to watch him. I haven't watched TV in 2 years now. You watching NCAA's? No, I didn't watch any college basketball this year. Just didn't feel up to it. My teams all got knocked out. Everybody's sending death threats to those people in Ohio State. I just can't understand it. It's just a game. Haven't you seen the Fear the Walking Dead? Yeah, I would just talk about Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, I like that. It's very interesting. It's like the beginning of how the virus started. And it tells you that, Ray, you're a great man. I just wanted to say hi. Who's calling me, my friend? Oh, good night. I know, Tony. You got to get up. You got the goats to take care of. You got to let Willow out. The deer got to be fed too. I know you got to, but you're a busy man, Tony. You need your strength. Sasha was one of my favorite. Oh man, that was sad. That was sad, Sasha. Yeah, man, that was sad. Sasha, she sacrificed herself to try to kill not governor, try to kill Negan. She took that poison when she was in that coffin. That was crazy. And you know what? I don't know how Eugene could live with himself. He did that on purpose. Eugene, I never did like him. I still don't like Eugene. I really don't. I don't like Eugene. I never did. I mean, I thought, especially when they found out he lied and Abraham almost beat him to death. Yeah, so besides, he doesn't fight. He doesn't fight. They try to make him tough. He ain't tough. No. I tell you one thing about The Walking Dead, though. It got some of everything in there. It got communities in there. It got the hospital. It had the hospital. It had Oceanside. I guess they still around. You had the Kingdom. Kingdom fell apart. You had the Sanctuary. Sanctuary got a big hole blown in it when they had the wars. The hilltop burned to the ground and everything. They're trying to put everything back together. And then they had those junkyard people. That part of the Walking Dead, I never could understand. I still don't understand it. I don't know what the deal was with them junkyard people. And they flew away with Rick in the helicopter. I still don't know that. I understand that part. Don't forget Rosita. Who can forget Rosita? Rosita got the Rosita. Now Rosita's a special story. Now I don't know was it a love triangle or a love square because let's see, it was Father Gabriel. It was what's his name? Sadiq. It was what's his name? I just said his name. The fat guy. Not Abraham. I just said his name, and I forgot it already. But anyway, and she had those 3 guys taking care of the baby. And Sadiq was the daddy, Gabriel was the husband, and what's his name? I just said his name. He was just, I don't know what his part was, but it was just crazy. Rosita, yeah, Lord, yeah. Abraham was her first boyfriend when they first met. The garbage people are dumb. Yeah, they were dumb. They all did. One of my favorite actors. Let's see. The junk people were evil. They were evil. I don't understand. Like I said, that sometimes they don't explain enough, and I just sit back and watch them because they were just crazy. Especially when they had the war and Negan them came in there, and the junkyard people were supposed to help Rick them, but turned on Rick them, and luckily that the lion, not the lion, what was it? The tiger? What's his name? Shiva, that tiger. The man had a tiger. Wow. Shiva came in there and saved him because he was about to shoot he's about to shoot Carl, and all of a sudden that Shiva and Ezekiel showed up with the people from the kingdom when they say their life, and that was crazy. That was crazy. That was good though. Yeah, and then like I said, there's a lot of bad people out there. And shoot, we don't even want to talk about the what were those people with the whisperers? The whisperers. That was the last one. That's why everything is falling apart. The whisperers. People wearing skin. You know, like a lot of people thought, like after I watched that first episode when Rick was in Atlanta and he was in the tank and he came out the tank and him and what's his name? Glenn was stuck with those other people in the store. Hey Adrian. And they decided to put that skin and not the skin on, but the blood and guts and stuff on them so they could escape. You know, I thought that'd have been a cool thing to do all the time. But then again, later on, when you get to the episode where they in the prison, they figured out that was causing some of the problem. You know, there was the disease and the walkers and stuff like that. And then when they get further on, when Father Gabriel and Negan was in that thing when they were at the sanctuary there, I guess it was the train car, and they were trying to get out from the walkers, and they did the same thing. They put their guts on. That's why Father Gabriel's eyes blind. If you ever watch it, that's why he got blinded, because he put the walker guts on his face, and it had an effect on him. So that's why they don't put the walker guts on no more. That's why those people that when they do dress like that, they use those whisper people. They use like dried out skin. Yeah, I'm still looking for Elvis or a clown zombie. I'm looking for a Bill Murray zombie. I mean, like what was that? What was that? The Living Dead, when they was at the mall. They was at the mall, the new one with Vin Raines in there, and they were up on the roof, and the guy with the gun shop across the street. The guys was holding up the sign telling them to shoot Elvis, shoot Bill Murray, shoot Lincoln, because the zombies is who they look like. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I'm still looking for it. There was a clown that was funny. Dale reminded me of Howard Sprague from the Andy Griffin Show because he had that hat. Dale was so cool though. I hate to see him go, but you know who got him killed? Carl, because Carl lit that zombie out of that mud, got that zombie out of that mud, fooling with him, and that zombie came and he killed Dale. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, like I say, then Adrian, she was not Adrian necessarily on watching with us, but Adrian that was fooling with the governor, she was dumb. She was dumb as a rock too. She knew the governor was evil, and she knew what he was about to do, and she still stuck in there. And the governor finally found out she was gonna tell. It put her in that walker, and she got bit. That was sad though. But guess who you hanging with? Yeah, see. Hello, Dave. Back out. Chicken Heritage Home for me. Yeah. Have a good night. I'm heading to bed. Hope y'all sleep well. Good night, Heritage Home. Heritage Heart Home. Yeah, like I say, I'm usually pretty much getting ready for bed this time myself. I mean, basically, I'm in the bed by now. After I watch the 11 o'clock news, I'm upstairs getting dressed for bed. But like I say, I don't have to go to bed tonight. I can stay up all I want. But I ain't gonna stay up till no 5 o'clock in the morning. I just watched somebody doing a live, and I was watching it. I watched it for about an hour. Then I had people come over because I have a niece that was in Alaska, and she just came back. So we had people came over, and we was talking for about 3 hours and stuff, and then they left, and then I went back, and the live was still on. So I watched it for another hour and a half. It was a 5.5 hour live feed, live talk. I don't know if I can talk 5.5 hours. That's a lot of talking. That's a lot of talking. I could, but I wouldn't want to. I'll probably be repeating myself all the time. Adrian should have done in the governor. You're right. The governor was crazy because anytime you hang with a guy and he got heads in the aquariums, remember the heads he had in the aquariums? Every time he killed people, you put their heads in the aquarium. Then he had his dead daughter, chained up in the closet with the thing on her head. That was wild. Whoa, whoa, look at all them hearts. Was this a love raid? Okay, that's like when them people go to the stores, and I guess they have a lot of people. Let's see, Michigan Outpost 231. Hey, here for the raid. Wow. Huh. Okay, I never seen that before. I got a lot of hearts. Got a lot of hearts. Wow. Well, thank you guys. That's from Why Not Farms, Camp Patton Family Compound, SSW3240, Keto Homestead with Jess, Fishing and Loaves, Ark and Wild Survival, Love Raid. Okay, hope I didn't miss anybody. Ginger Ninja, Dr. Pepper. Hello, Grandpa Pepper. Let's see. Wow. Whoa. Rolling Homestead with Wild Edibles in Wisconsin. Newman Outdoors. Episode kind of boring. Yeah, this was like I said, it was a slow episode. Patty Bob. Then they're gonna have the finale next week. With it's a background on Negan because they're gonna pick up next season because next season is the last season. So I figured a lot of these people that we got this week, they probably get killed off because they do that. They kill off a bunch of them. I figure they might even kill off Daryl the Curl. Maybe I don't know. They still got Connie out there somewhere. They haven't found her. They might kill off Little Rick or Judith. You never know with the Walking Dead who they would kill off. They kill off a lot of people. They always do. They might kill off Michonne because she's gone now. She's gonna be doing other things, and you still got Aaron and Tara and Ezekiel and like I said, Eugene. Sometimes I can't remember Eugene's name because I usually have another name for him when I'm watching the show. It is not a nice name for Eugene, but I don't like Eugene. Yeah. I tell you another one. Another person that I liked. I didn't really understand it until later. I don't know if y'all remember Denise. She was the one that was learning to be a doctor. She was the heavyset lady that was learning to be a doctor, and she didn't know how to be a doctor. She was the one that saved Carl when Carl got shot by what's that guy's name? The brother, Sam's brother, and Jesse's son, the brother. I forgot his name, but anyway. She saved Carl's life, and she got shot through the eye with an arrow when they was on the train tracks. Cause I think she liked terror. Yeah, that was crazy. All of a sudden she was standing there talking, and all of a sudden that arrow went right through her eye. Yeah, that was insane. I mean, that stuff sometimes to catch you off guard, you don't be expecting it. Oh. Let's see. Lori Lofton. Ooh, I got 22 thumbs up. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be like I said. I don't really talk too long. I usually talk about an hour. So I'll probably talk maybe another 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll probably just talk about the people that's in here that's no longer with us. Like Tyrese. I like Tyrese. I thought he was gonna be the next Shane, but he got soft. He really got soft. Right after the Terminus thing, he got soft. He should have killed that guy when him and the baby was in the cabin. He got soft, and he ended up getting bit by Noah's brother, the dead brother. Ended up biting. Man, though he bite Pappy. Surprise raid with the hat. I'm back. It's a raid. Yeah, it surprised me. I didn't know what to expect on that. I never seen that before, but usually I don't be doing lives this time of night. Prepper Vet Mitchell, is that a training manual for preppers? I don't know what that was. I don't know. But The Walking Dead could be. Like I said, it's all about survival. That's what we do as preppers now. I was watching Central Florida Prepper. Nobody calls him Central Florida Prepper anymore with CFP, but I'm calling that because I always called him that when he had his own channel before he changed his name again. And he was talking about the stuff that's going on over in the South China Sea with the United States Navy and all that other stuff that's going on there. And he was saying survival prepper. That's what I was talking about. And he was talking about that it looked like we heading for some trouble, some serious trouble, and that we don't exactly know if it's going to be a shooting war. But he was telling people that they should start right now stocking up. If you can, you need to start stocking up. I always say that you don't have to wait for stuff like that to happen because stuff can happen any day now. I mean, like today we had 40-mile-an-hour winds here. The other day we had 50-mile-an-hour winds here. You know, I got some damage out there to one of my tarps out there. That's no problem. I go fix that up. But I mean, look what happened down in Alabama, in Georgia, in the South when the tornadoes came through. All that damage they got, the lives they lost, the property that was messed up. So you never know. You don't have to wait for a war because we always seem to be at war trying to survive every day. It's a tough thing to do. Yes, survival prepper. I've been watching this channel for a long time. The nice guy. Let's see. That's WW3 2040. I saw where the preacher and one guy went to the market and they were in the mud on The Walking Dead. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the episode with Robert Patrick in it. I think that might have been last week. That was an insane episode. Yeah, that was Aaron that he was with. Aaron got one hand, his other hand got crushed when the logs rolled on it and the walkers was coming. And so now he's got like a spike or one of them balls on his hand, a middle ball. And they were out looking for food. Everybody seemed to be out somewhere looking for food. There's no food since they had the war. And they ended up in that warehouse and they killed that wild boar that was in there. They opened up that closet room and there was a wild boar in there. And they killed the wild boar and it was eating it. And you know Robert Patrick, he was the guy that played the Liquid Terminator in the Terminator movies. He was in there and he took them prisoners and they made them play Russian roulette. You know, put the bullet in there. You know, like it was a deer hunter and to shoot each other. You know, and they what's his name? The father. Father Gabriel, yeah. Father Gabriel. That's a little bit late for me, so sometimes I can't remember. I saw the two scenes, not the episode. So but this is the whole episode. They had to play the deer hunter, and he talked him out of it, you know. And he talked him out of it. And soon as he talked him out of it, Father Gabriel killed him just that quick. I was like, what the heck? That was unexpected. And Aaron was like shaking his head because Father Gabriel, I didn't like him from the beginning. And I always thought he was something else. But I still, you know what? Because people change. That's one thing about this show. People change. People first they were kind of wimpy and backstabbing and scary. You know, those kind of people that get you, the scary people, it get you killed. And now they insane people. They go out and they kill for no reason. The mailman with Kevin Costner, he found a uniform and became a leader. Yeah. Yep. All you gotta do is go out there and put on a mailman suit. See, I don't even know if I can fit my old mailman suit. Matter of fact, only thing I got left from my mailman days is a parka. I had bought the parka and I only wore it maybe 15, 16 times when it really got cold because I always wore my jacket. But yeah, only thing I kept was the parka. Yeah, I got rid of all my mailman stuff. I kept the shoes though and the boots. But the uniforms, I threw them all away. Gave a raincoat to a guy at work. Yep. I didn't keep hardly anything from nice seeing you again. I didn't keep any of my stuff from the post office. Yeah. Kevin Costner, that was a good movie too. The Sign of 8. Matter of fact, they had a series out that really don't have anything to do with The Walking Dead, but I meant to mention it the other day because this guy had said something about it. And he didn't remember the name, and I didn't remember the name, but it was Utopia. It was crazy. So John Cusack was in it. It's an old TV series. It was on Amazon Amazon Prime. You have that, you get it with Amazon Prime. It was called Utopia. It was insane. So yeah, I watched that. It was only like two seasons. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah. So like I said, didn't know her. You remember, everybody loves Rick. I mean, everybody hates Chris. He got ripped apart. I hated to see him go, because he was like, every time you get somebody outside that has a handicap, they die quick. Except on the Fear the Walking Dead, they still had the guy in the wheelchair. He's doing good, but they killed him. But I'm gonna tell you, the one thing I was gonna remember about The Walking Dead, if I don't ever remember anything else, was when they was coming back. It was Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl. The three of them was coming back. And they were driving that truck, and them guys on the motorcycles blocked the road, and they were standing up there on their motorcycles. And all of a sudden, this one guy took Daryl in the back, gonna kill Daryl. Daryl came around the corner, and all he seen was the guys on the motorcycle get blown up by that missile. And that was crazy. I love that part. I can sit back and watch reruns of The Walking Dead all day long and just laugh. Let's see. You notice all the UFO shows these days think the government is about to release classified documents. In June, according to what they have released on December 27th, they're supposed to release all the information that they have in 180 days, which would take us to 180 days from that. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all seen that thing flying around up in Washington State? That thing, that is not the remnants of a rocket. I'm telling y'all now, don't buy the Kool-Aid. It's just like they told them people about Roswell, it's a weather balloon. That was not the remnants of a rocket that they sent up. If it was, where is it at? Where did it crash? See, they covering up. They say, oh, let's tell them it's a rocket. Because we send so many rockets up there now, it don't matter. All of a sudden, you get this thing just flying like that. How many times have you seen stuff in Washington State that's been flying around in Oregon and stuff like that over the last 6 months? There's been a lot of activity up there. Something is going on. Something is going on. We're having too many earthquakes and too much stuff flying around the sky. And I don't know exactly what it is. So you got me talking aliens again. And like I say, you got to watch the aliens. Every time something like that start to happen, they say it's a weather balloon or it's a airplane. But see, they speculate that it was. They didn't say that it actually is because they don't really know. Because they just try to make you drink the Kool-Aid and tell you it's something that it's not. You know, what they say, they pissing on your head and telling you it's rain. So you can buy it if you want to. That's right. Heart. That's what causing the weather we got. Heart. I heard that the Navy was attacked by aliens. Well, I don't know if they were attacked by aliens. I know the Navy fired on the aliens. I know they were trying to catch a couple of UFOs out there over the last 2-3 years, and them things just move so fast. I mean, they got them moving so fast. They don't even leave sonic booms anymore. They move that fast. See, some people speculate. Now, I'm trying to get my nephew on here, but like I said, he ended up breaking his knuckle. That Rocky River Reservation. He ended up breaking his knuckle, so he's been laid up and doing other things with his kids right now. And so anyway, I speculate that they might be dimensional travelers. We might have some everything. We don't know. You got room on your couch. Aliens sit with you and watch The Walking Dead. Yeah. We can sit there, eat Cheetos and microwave popcorn and drink lemonade or RC Cola if they want some RC Cola. And we have a good time. We can talk about the reanimated dead bodies that the Microsoft people trying to get brought back. I don't know. People just crazy. Why do people? I mean, people, just because they can do it, they shouldn't do it. You know, just like Jurassic Park. What they got said, just because you thought you could, and you just should, but you shouldn't. And that's what happened. They brought back those dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Just because they could, they shouldn't. But they did anyway, and it turned out bad. And that's because these people could bring back somebody's brain by adding nanonites and all that other stuff in there. You should don't fool around with reanimating dead bodies, and that's Microsoft. But that's a whole nother story. And then you got the lizard people and you got the aliens and stuff like that. Because a lot of stuff out here, we don't understand, and we weren't meant to understand. Sometimes you got to just take things by faith and just leave it at that. But that's what I usually do. Adrian said the world is getting weirder for sure. Weirder by the moment. We just don't know. But I think, like I've been told, and I heard this many a time, 2022 is going to be the break point. We're going to find out everything we need to know in 2022. Don't ask me when and don't ask me where, and I don't know, but I just take things by face value. If something happened in 2022, so be it. I'm going to see what's going to happen. But they saying that all this stuff that's being covered up and all this stuff that we need to know is going to come out. It's all going to come out. We're going to see, because like I said, if you really start reading the Old Testament and the New Testament, some of this stuff is biblical, So I'm just gonna say it like that. Say what you will, but some of the stuff is biblical. Might be a race war with green aliens for the greenest. It's to serve man. That's what it's gonna be. You remember that Twilight Zone? It was a cookbook to serve man. Who knows what these aliens are gonna be? That's why I worry about the lizard people. The lizard people say they're here to help us. I never talked to one, but people say that they talk to them, and they always say they're here to help. Now, me, I had never seen one. They say that they look like us a little bit, except they got scales and stuff like that. But all the lizards I know was meat eaters. I mean, what kind of meat these guys been eating? Are they the ones been eating those people cows and chickens and stuff like that, or are they eating us? You ever watch somebody feed mice to snakes? You see what I'm saying? Remember that TV show V? Remember V? Where that lady took that mouse and ate that mouse like that? That's lizard people. But the lizard people are not aliens. So don't get it twisted. Lizard people are not aliens. Those are the ones that dropped the dime on the aliens. Lizard people say that they've been here since the age of the dinosaurs. Basically, they probably are dinosaur people. Probably, and they've been here since the age of the dinosaur. And they say that we were brought here by the aliens. I don't know. They say we were brought here from Mars when they blew up that planet. It was another planet between Mars, whatever the asteroid belt is, that was the planet. It got blew up in a war and all this stuff. I have no idea. I didn't see it. I wasn't there. I wasn't around. But like I say, you never know. The prophecy about World War III followed by a really bad war with the aliens. World War III. Well, World War III could be as early as tomorrow. The way things are going out there, you never know. Your neck of the woods is the Mothman. That's close to Pennsylvania, in Kentucky. The Mothman. The Mothman. See, we don't even have Bigfoot here. That's farther up toward Oregon and Washington State. What we have here, like I say, you can probably get part of the Mothman over here, but I haven't seen him in Ohio. We had some kind of creature that they say smell real bad, but I never seen it. We got a monster in Lake Erie. That's why our hockey team is named the Lake Erie Monster. Now, I'll tell you, there's always some kind of lights in the lake. I have no idea why they got lights in the lake. Some people say it's just submarines and stuff like that. I don't know why we would have submarines coming in the lakes, but they probably do. I have no idea. But I have seen some strange lights in the lake, but we always have UFO activity here because, Area 51, they really brought all that stuff to Ohio and put it at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which is down by Dayton. So I almost went to college down in Wright State. I almost went there, but it didn't. Let's see what it says. I like the urban prepper in New York City. He is a practicing prepper. Yeah. I haven't seen the urban prepper in New York. I seen the angry prepper in New York. I don't want to get too confused. Yeah, but I heard about the angry prepper, urban prepper. I haven't seen his channel. I think I subscribed to him. Been a while though, because once you start subscribing to so many channels, you just can't watch them all. But like I said, I try to watch at least 200 videos a week. Try to. Sometimes it's not easy if I get caught up watching some lives, because live videos take longer. I watched The Road a couple of times. Really depressing. The Road was really depressing. It had, The Road was nothing happy. It had some sad stuff in it from the beginning to the end, and you still don't know what happened, except that the father died. People came and they took the boy and the dog, but you never know what they're gonna do with the boy and the dog. I mean, I thought they should have stayed in that bunker that they found. I really don't understand why they left. You're right, angry prepper. Yeah. Cat and hat. Yeah, not any. It says, I think the boy survived. I hope he survived, but then who knows? Those people might have been cannibals. Like those people that was in the trucks. When it was half of the people in the trucks, they might have been cannibals. Of course, they say people gonna be eating people. That's what they say. Oh yeah, but I hope not, because a lot of the stuff that we watch in these movies, I mean, they seem to be happening a little bit down the road. It's not like that they woke up one morning and all of a sudden they were in the middle of Walking Dead. I mean, it sort of progressed, according to Fear the Walking Dead, which is like the prequel to all that stuff started. Now the two timelines are all caught up, but it sort of started slowly and progressed. But that's how everything happens. Everything seems to progress. If we ever had one of them, like I say, apocalyptic moments, that's when everything happened at one time. Bam. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Then you just little dog. Then you can just say, wow, because we be doomed. Let's say people ate people to establish this country. If you forgot, you are doomed to repeat it. No, I know, especially I remember the people, what they call it, the donor party out there. They ate them people. That wasn't the only time cannibalism happened. Even at with the Jamestown, the people when they first got there, if it wasn't for the Indians teaching them how to grow corn and stuff like that and helping them out, all them people would have died. All of them would have died, but a lot of people died anyway. And some people were eating other people. Like I say, so that's why we prep. Like I tell people in my videos, and I pray to God that they listen to the old man here, because even once I'm dead and gone, the stains probably won't be different for me, because people need to start preparing, because you can't actually depend on the government. I'm gonna just say this. People think I pick on the government. I don't pick on the government. I love my government. I love my country. But the government, they don't act like, the government is not normal people. Let me put it that way. They're not normal people like me and you. They've been in the office so long and so many years that they don't remember what it is to be poor, or what it is to not know where your next bill is coming from, or be late on a light bill or something like that. They don't remember that stuff. These are millionaires now. They don't have to do nothing. They got people that go out and do everything for them. They don't remember this stuff. But see, it's a daily struggle every day. I mean, some people, like I say, they don't even have lights in their house. They get candle lights. So I'm just saying, the government, when they prepare stuff and they tell us stuff, they don't realize that it's a struggle here. So I don't see the government really coming in to help us. All they do is throw money at it. And people will be laughing at me when I say that. But I'm telling you, when stuff happens, the first thing they're gonna do, I'm talking about the federal government, I ain't talking about the state or local government, because they're gonna try to get people supplies and food if they can. But the federal government, the first thing they're gonna do is send them FEMA people out and tell them to write a check. And that's what they do. Let's see, hold up. The old movie with Charlton Heston found the factory making food from dead people. Soylent Green, yeah. Soylent Green. what was that old guy that was in there too? He played Little Caesar. Edward G. Robinson. Edward G. Robinson, yeah, he was in there. They're gonna turn him into food too. That prep food is down in the basement. the Donner Party, I remember that. Soylent Green was a shocker for his time. All the movies were, yeah. Because people started to realize that everybody ain't good people. Like I used to tell people. My mother used to tell me too. There's starving people over in Africa. Remember that? They always say eat your food because there's people out there that don't have food on their table. Always eat your food. Don't throw away nothing and stuff like that. And my mother used to always say that. So I used to always say eat my food. But my mother, she was born in 1921. So she was a little girl in the Depression era. And my father was born 1914. So, they lived through them hard times in the 30s, in the late 20s and 30s when it was Depression era and all that stuff. And they do things and they had things and they did things differently than we do. You know what I mean? So nowadays kids got too much, and I will say that right now. They got too much. I mean, I'm not a tech wizard on the internet and stuff like that. It's surprising me that I can do these computer things because I never wanted a computer. I'm an old pencil and paper man. But kids got too much, and they can't get along without their phone. You want to make a kid mad, take his phone away from him. They will yell, cry, scream, and scream bloody murder because they don't have that phone. And it's crazy. It's a totally different world, totally different era. It's a technical world. Catton has said many books like weren't in school by the time I made 1984 and Fahrenheit 451, Animal Farm still. So, they don't even read books anymore in school. I remember we had to read all of those. All of those. I read all of those, especially George Orwell. At 1984. You left out Brave New World too. So that's a book we had to read too. And all that was about the future and all this totalitarian government, It could be like that. Lord of the Flies it was popular too. Modern program was one heck of a thing. Yeah, I remember Lord of the Flies. I had to see that on the movies though. With my brother, we went to see Lord of the Flies. Yeah. Kill the Beast, Kill the Beast. Original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston when he found the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. That was awesome. That was awesome. He was on that horse and all of a sudden he jumped off that horse and you see him beating on that sand and then all of a sudden they showed the Statue of Liberty. I say, ooh wee. Now we know. Now we know. Time travel. Space. Hit a wormhole. Let's see. I have a greenhouse we should be safe, but sacks of topsoil is stored in the basement. I'm afraid to admit it, but I'm addicted to tech and I wasn't. It could be an addiction. I say that has to say I grew up in the 90s, red, Soylent Green, Brave New World, in the middle of high school, couldn't find them. Yeah, people don't read books. They don't read books. Yep. I mean, see, when I grew up, like I said, I'm a product of the 60s, 70s, but mostly 60s and 70s. And we didn't have cable here in Cleveland. We had 3, 5, and 8. We was watching the Jack Benny show. Johnny Carson wasn't even on TV. We had Jack Parr, and when most of my reading was the National Geographic and the Reader's Digest. The Reader's Digest had what they call the Book of the Week. Every week, when the Reader's Digest came out, they would publish a couple of chapters out of a book. And that's how I would read books and stuff sometimes. Yep. Yeah, I read a book a week on the top of everything else I do. Yeah, when we finally got to the school, they had weekly readers in there. That's why if you look right now, American educational system is falling way behind. But like I said in one of my last videos, a lot of these kids are going to get a wake-up call because a lot of these governors are calling for the kids to go to school this summer. See, They didn't go to school at all. Remember, they was on this tech stuff around learning about a computer, and it seemed like it's not working because the grades are going down. Is popular science still around? I don't know, but I used to read popular science too. It always had those helpful hints in there. Like they had this one that I really liked because I used to always hit my finger with a hammer when they had this one where you take a little piece of gum, put it over the spot where you wanted to put a nail in, and stick the nail in the gum while it's stuck to the thing, and you hit it. That way you didn't have to hold it with your finger and hit it. That way you wouldn't smash your finger. I remember that one. I tried it. It worked okay. I educated my own children. Heck with the government system. Yeah, see, I learned that how bad the school system was from my last daughter. My last daughter, when she was in high school, I learned how bad the system was. I used to ask her, "Where your books at?" So I went to open house. I asked the teacher. I said, "My daughter says she don't have a book. Where your books at?" "Oh, we don't issue our books anymore." I said, "Well, how are they gonna learn to read?" And she said, "Well, we watch a lot of film." I say, "Film?" Yeah. I said, "Well, what y'all watch?" They watching regular movies. I'm like, "What the heck? How you gonna learn with no books?" Because I know a lot of times when I was learning, we had to have books because you always want to go back and take notes and write down stuff out of the book. So when you get a test, you can always go review it. But nah, they give them a handout and yes and no. Yes and no. They don't have to learn anything. And that's what the educational system is in America now. A bunch of yes and no questions. I mean, we used to have to write essays and all that good stuff, but I got sidetracked again, see. Off-grid desert farming with Paul Adrian. I graduated on online school. We never used the books, except online ones. They sent y'all books. Yeah, that's why. I never did online studying. Never did. I always had a book. Even when I went to college, we had books, had a lot of books, all books. Teachers didn't tell you too much. They told you what chapters to read, and you're going to come back and be reviewed and quizzed on. I remember that. Oh, let's see. So anyway, I got sidetracked on the aliens and the school, how bad the school system is. Now that I'm trying to get back to The Walking Dead. Let's see, had a job since I was 5. Walked to work when I was in kindergarten. I didn't have a job when I was 5, but I walked to school uphill both ways. Remember that? Parents used to say, "Well, we never had shoes. We all had one pair of shoes. It was 6 of us, and each one of us had a shoe to work 1 week. And we had to walk outside the snow and the rain one way each day uphill both ways." Yeah, my parents used to tell us that stuff. But in public school, we used them books. Yeah. School system has changed. School system has changed. Yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah. See, that's why we falling behind so much nowadays. 4th grade bought a $2 book from a thrift store. My 1-year-old is learning sign language. I have a niece. I have a niece that's deaf. Well, she can hear a little bit because they put the implants in her ears. They put implants in her ears, and plus she got hearing aids. Yeah, she's deaf. She knows all this. Her and her mother, they know sign language and everything, and she can talk. She's in high school now. You know, she could talk because she could hear a little bit. So, but she for quite a few years she couldn't hear. She learned sign language. I got a niece. Yep, it's crazy to experience both sides of things. Yeah, shopping in Walmart seems like they the Walking Dead. Yes, they are, man. You know what? Sometimes I watch TV and I think how blessed these kids are nowadays. The kids that grew up with the technology they got nowadays. Because, like I said, change things. I mean, things change. And when I was a kid, we would never have thought that we would have cordless phones. You remember the old rotary phone? You know, your parents will tell you if you go out somewhere, make sure you got a dollar and a dime. You know, a dime to make the phone call, $1 for the cab fare, or a quarter for if you had to catch the bus. See, those are the days. See, nowadays you tell somebody, you know, make sure you got a dollar and a dime. They say, "What's a dollar for?" They say the bus is not $1. They say, "What's the dime for?" Payphone. What's a payphone? You don't have payphones anymore. They took all the payphones out. That was recently. I mean, I think they took all the payphones out here in Ohio, here in Cleveland anyway, in 1998, 97. They took all the payphones out. There used to be a payphone in McDonald's I used to use to call back to the post office to tell them if I was running late. They took that out. Now you got to have your own cell phone. Yeah, that was crazy. I grew up with rotary phones. You know, you had the phone on the wall. We had it wasn't one of them phones you can walk around the house with. It was phone one place. That's what it was. Yep. You got to talk on that phone all day long. Man. Then they had the party line. So it's crazy. It's your boy. Say, do you believe our government can make zombies real by accident with all the stupid experiment? You know what? I think if they do it, it is not by accident. For the simple fact that if you know something is doing wrong, I mean, you know, just like all these, I'm not gonna mention no viruses or nothing like that. I'm just gonna say, if you know what it could do, don't do it. And if you keep doing it and you know it's gonna cause that effect, then why are you doing it? It's not an accident. You know what it's gonna do. Don't do it. It's just like when you tell your kids, look, stop running, you're gonna trip over that stick. And if they keep doing it and they keep doing it, it's not by accident. It's because they stupid or they do it on purpose. So that's what I'm saying. So if they do it, they can say it's an accident, but our government love to make excuses. So I'm not gonna say that they shouldn't. You see, Adrian say we had a payphone here in a town until last year. Wow, yeah, you in I think you in Arizona out there. Yeah, you out there in Arizona. Yeah. They might have payphones still out there, but in the big city, like where I'm at, we're not big as New York, but we don't have payphones anymore. You know, I remember when we did have payphones, a lot of times you couldn't get to a payphone because the dope boys had their own payphones. You couldn't use that payphone because they'd wait for a call. That was crazy. Yeah. You should sign up when Cleveland had an episode of The Walking Dead. I wish I could, but I do see some of these people at Comic-Con when they come here. But this year it's been canceled. But March, so far so good. So March, I'm gonna take you guys on another tour of Comic-Con when it comes here in March. So far so good. So if they cancel it, it'll be later on in the year. But right now it's on. Never heard of aliens in those disclosed documents, but otherworldly beings, yes. It's your boy. You know what? They don't even call UFOs anymore. What they call them? Hold up here. I had a piece of paper somewhere that had what they call them. Oh, yeah, they call them advanced aerial threats. That's what they call them. They don't even call them UFOs anymore. At least that's according to the Senate Intelligence Committee. When you're talking about UFOs, they call them advanced aerial threats. See, because they don't want anybody to be afraid, and they want everybody to, when this stuff do happen and stuff like that, and it comes out, that's what they're gonna say it was. What do you think about Bigfoot? You know what? I'm open to Bigfoot, but I don't know. I don't know. Bigfoot, because it's not in my neck of the woods. And they always seem like it's just one Bigfoot. I mean, but you know, China got the Yeti, and they said the Yeti is the Bigfoot over there. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, how could Bigfoot be here in Oregon, here in Washington State, here in the mountains of California? And so it got, unless it's more than one. You see what I'm saying? So I'm thinking if it is, it's more than one. And I think it's probably just a Neanderthal that was living for a long time, and probably they find his bones because they did have giants. People used to laugh when people say, "Oh man, ain't no such thing as giants." Then they found all them bones in Minnesota, cave full of giant bones. I mean, these people were 12 feet tall. 12 feet tall. Can you imagine? You ever go to a basketball game, a professional basketball game, and everybody on the court is over 6'7", 6'8", and you be looking up at them? It's like, man, what is this? This is crazy. Because I seen some guys like, I don't know, you guys remember Manu Bow? He was 7'6", Manu Bow. He went to Cleveland State for a minute. He didn't play basketball, but he had enrolled at Cleveland State, and I was down there at the same time, and he was down there one day, and I looked at this guy. He was like, I'm 6'2", and he was like that much taller than me. And that was incredible when you see people that's tall. You know what I mean? So, like I say, Bigfoot, it probably is something to it. Most urban legends is always something to most urban legends out there. You know what I mean? Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot. They got all these things out there. But so far, so good. Nothing have ever been proved to disclaim it or to prove it because it's still citing to this day. You never know. How would everyone fall in our government? How would everybody fail in our government? Just told the truth about everything. They won't tell the truth about everything because they feel that the majority of people couldn't handle it. They figure that everybody will panic. Because they probably will. If we knew right now that aliens existed, not only America would probably fall apart, but the whole world would probably fall apart. Bigfoot had been in your house. Toilet roll is all used up. Got to show Bigfoot some love. Okay, CJ, hi, Grandpa Prepper. I think, they be real sign that otherworldly beings will come more often. Also, there is signs of time. I think people were 15 foot tall. Adam and Eve were from then on. I don't know how tall Adam and Eve was. I really don't. I never even knew they gave a height for them. I just know they lived a long time. I know people used to live hundreds and hundreds of years. Some of them even lived 1,000 years. But I don't know. People wasn't originally born to die. That's something that came with the big sin. They don't want to be dethroned. You ever looked at Biden? He's far out. I wouldn't worry too much about Biden. Biden, none of them other politicians. See, they part of the deep state, and everybody know it. Ain't no use even worrying about it or talking about it. Everybody know it. There's nothing that can be said about it now. They got control, and there's nothing you can do. Hey, my friend, this is the POD here, and connecting with you with my secondary channel. Hope you're well. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Dinosaur was still alive. Dinosaur. People didn't believe there were dinosaurs. You know what I mean? They used to call them dragon bones way back when. You know what? The more people learn and the more stuff is coming out, the more people begin to realize that a lot of stuff that was supposed to be myth is now history. And a lot of the history that they thought was one thing turned out to be something else, because that's the way it is. The more and longer you live, the the more you will find out things change, especially like when you start talking about Chinese history and his, Indian history, not American India, but India history, and it becomes hearsay and legend when it was first came out, but now it's real. Let's see, Browns should have a good team. They're looking good, man. The Browns are gonna be all right. I had a friend once tell me he was a Pittsburgh Steelers man, still a fan. His name was Terry. We worked together at this company, and he told me that the world's gonna end as soon as the Browns win the Super Bowl. We might win the Super Bowl this year. They say our odds are 1 in 22. So, we'll see. We got the chance. So I hope it don't cause us to end the world. Right, fell down the stairs. I was cracking. Well, when you get that old, you know what? He should have got some of them knee braces that I was talking about the other day. He would have fell down. He'd been all right. But that's okay. He probably didn't remember he fell down. I believe dinosaurs may be fallen angels and children of demons and men. Now, my nephew, me and him was talking one day about the dinosaurs. See, the dinosaurs died because they say that he said, I would hope the Lions would trade out of 7, but the 49ers are trading up to number 3. The Lions, man. See, so for you guys that don't know who Life with Bill is, he's Philippine on demand. Yeah, I remember he's one of my Filipino people back in the Philippines over there, and he's a big Detroit Lion fan. Now the Lions, they haven't been good since they had Megatron there, and I was a big Megatron fan. I always wanted to get them, but let me tell you about the Lions. They got a shot at being a better team now that they got rid of their general manager and stuff. They can build on it now. But if they trade out of 7, they had to get a good package. I mean, if they're gonna plan on building through the draft, then they're gonna have to trade that number 7 pick, maybe stay in the first round, maybe trade down to 22 or 23 and get a number 2. You get a number 1 and number 2 for their number 1. But if they don't do that, they'll be okay with 7. They just got to build. They got to get some veterans in there, some leadership. Lions, Barry Sanders, man, that boy can run. Okay, let's see. Cat in the Hat. I was talking about the dinosaurs. Now they say the dinosaurs died because of a meteor that hit. It caused all the dust storm to go up and block out the sun. But they never tell you where that meteor came from. Now, this, the asteroid belt used to be a planet. That used to be a planet. And that planet blew up. According to Hindu mythology, they had a war out in space. People were living on Mars. And what happened was that planet blew up. And one of the asteroids from that planet shot down, crashed into the Earth, caused this big dust storm, which killed all the dinosaurs. In doing so, it shifted the orbit of Mars. It moved Mars farther out, so Mars started to die. So when all the dinosaurs died, they took all the people that was on Mars and moved Mars people to Earth, and that's what we had today. I mean, that's a short thing. I don't know all of it. I'll let my nephew talk about it. He knows more about it than I would. But anyway, let's see. He would know. Bill, I'm a Lions fan. I agree with you totally. Let's see. Believe, make the others believe that we all learned. I don't know. Let's see. That's what I'm stuck on. The asteroid part of it's odd. Yeah, the asteroid belt. Have you ever noticed why do we have an asteroid belt? Why when it's in the orbit? It's an orbit thing. It's just there. It's orbiting like the orbit of a planet. And they say it used to be a planet. It's just like if you put all the puzzles back together like a jigsaw puzzle, it'll be a planet. And why is that planet? How did that planet actually get destroyed and blew up like that? I don't know. They say that there was a war up in space. Maybe they had the Death Star. The Death Star from Star Wars came in, blew the planet up. You never know. Gotta go ahead. Good night, Adrian. Thank you for stopping by. Pepper Vet Mitchell, Fred and Barney on the Flintstones ate good with a used drumstick on the barbecue. The Brontosaurus burger. Yeah. That's a very good person. I haven't supported football ladies do to disrespect to us. Yeah. I believe the more I hear and learn, the Bible is real. It's called the globe. Makes me think no globe shaking that up. Yeah, but you know what? We really got to worry about right now is these the polar magnetic pole shifts, because that's causing a lot of problem up in the Arctic. You know, stuff that was covered with ice is now going green. You know, stuff that was green now getting covered with ice. I mean, the magnetic poles, it ain't like the whole planet is rotating. See, people think when they talk about the pole shift that the planets are rotating. No. It's the magnetic poles is shifting. You know, because the planet, we got a molten core. And we got a lot of ore and stuff like that. So basically, Earth is like a giant magnet. You know what I mean? We generate an electronic pulse. You know, the Earth does because of our molten metal. If our molten core ever stops and cools off, the planet would die. Just plain simple. But because we got that, it gave us this atmosphere. It gave us our ozone layer, and that's what makes the Earth a little bit different than every place else. But see, this magnetic core is shifted, and that's causing all these earthquakes we having lately. Let's see. I grew up with the Jetsons. Jordan Jetson, his boy Elroy. Okay. What was the name of that dog? He had a dog. I can't remember the name of the dog. I heard that Mars was destroyed by aliens in the war went nuclear. That's how it came. Yeah. Well, Mars had a big climate change. They say Mars was green like Earth, and all of a sudden, it just froze. Everything died. Everything died. I don't know. It could have been in a perfect spot like Earth. If you move the Earth 100 miles either way, our whole atmosphere and everything would change. We would be a dying planet. Right now, we right in this perfect spot. Life would be. I'm so happy Barry is back in the building. Barry Sanders, Astro, yeah. He was. I don't know. Was he before Scooby Doo? Because they had Scooby Doo and the Mystery Machine, and then they had Asteroid, and they had all these different dogs out there when I was growing up. I bet Darth Vader froze Mars. He could have. Yeah, because you know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say. That the moon is hollow. Like I say, prove me wrong, but the moon is hollow. Every time they do something on the moon, it makes that hollow bell sound. The moon is hollow. How come all the craters on the moon are the same depth? Why is that? Every crater they measure, it can only go so deep. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Every rock that lands on the ground ain't gonna make the same dent. It's gonna either be so many inches or so many feet. I mean, but on the moon, it can only go so deep. That's crazy. But ain't nobody even talking about that because people don't really care. And like I said, the moon is hollow. People are whatever living inside there. Could be millions of people. Could be people in those cryogenic tubes. Anything could be in there because we can't see the dark side of the moon. Nobody knows what's going on the dark side of the moon. And I always wondered, we got the space station up there that videotaping all these alien ships leaving here and there, coming from behind the moon and stuff like that. But nobody say, look, why don't we just send a ship or circle the moon and see what we come up with? They won't do it because they already know. And they're afraid if they told us what's up there, that we'll freak out. I don't know. But we'll find out one day. I wonder what's on the backside of the moon. Yeah. Does the moon gravitate around the earth and never turn? Yeah, it does. It just stays. It just doesn't rotate. It just go like that. It just circles the earth, circles the earth. It doesn't rotate, never rotate. It just stuck there. It doesn't spin, which is funny, you know. Pink Floyd knows what's on the dark side of the moon. I guess there's more bricks in the wall. I guess. Yeah, I like the series of How the World Ends. Oh yeah, I watched that a couple of times, and I always watch Life After People too. Yep, because I always say Planet X was interesting. Yeah, the burrow. I'm gonna tell you, I always said this. The best thing for me, see, I'm a city prepper. I'm in the city. I make no beef about it. I wish I could be farther away from the city, maybe on the border of being in the country in the suburb. But I'm in the city, and the best thing that can happen to me, that if anything happened and they call for everybody to move and evacuate the city, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Because see, I'm planning on bugging in. I got everything I need here. And the less people I have to deal with, the better it is. And if everybody's gone, if my whole street was empty, I'd be like that guy that was in that Twilight Zone movie that went to the library and had all them books, but he dropped his glasses. Remember, he could enjoy it. That's probably be me too. I probably want to have a can opener. I don't need one though. But I mean, yeah, see. So, we all got our own thing what we thinking about. I mean, people thinking about right now is what would happen if they woke up the next day and they found out that we were at war. We do what we always do. Life goes on. Unless the missiles are flying, we just gonna keep going on with our daily lives. We just gonna feel bad because we can't have peace. But we gonna go on. Like I found out, and the most you did find out that the first Iraqi war. How did you find out? You woke up that morning and it was all on the news, breaking news. The missiles are being launched and hitting over in Israel, and they sending Scud missiles here and there and everywhere. And the United States has mobilized their troops. And that was the first Iraqi war. And how you remember the second one? All the United States are sending troops over. And that's the same thing. Another one, that's why we find out. There's no use of panicking because we're going to find out sooner or later. Let's see how much radiation much radiation that close will kill you quick. Like that the people was cool, but what if we get a bit? Okay, SSWW3 2040. I don't quite understand the question. It says, but what if we get invaded? By who? By people or aliens? Because I don't quite understand the question. You know what? We can handle a per people invasion, but aliens, if they got the technology in the weaponry, I think the only reason that they don't show themselves is because there's not enough of them. I think that they ended up here by mistake. I think that they probably hit a wormhole or a black hole or whatever you want to call it, and got shot across the galaxy or whatever they were at or whatever dimension they were in. They ended up here. They've been here ever since. They've been stuck, and they can't get back to wherever they got to go because they travel by light years. And I think they've been giving out knowledge to our people for hundreds of thousands of years. I mean, that's what I think that they were. They came over here and found a primitive civilization, and then they tried to make the best of it. And then when it started to get bad, they went back to the moon or wherever it was. Homo with double hockey stick. Subject. Well, it's my turn for the hospital. 4 days I was in. $20,000 later, they scanned ultrasound, heart scan, and other drugs. Scan is determined I had ammonia of the lungs. Walking dead. Oh man, I had pneumonia twice. First time I had it, I didn't know I had it. Almost died. Almost died. I remember that. I was in my car. I was working. I was driving. I was using my car to work back in those days. I was driving a postal car. Crashed right into these people's house. I passed out at the wheel. Crashed right into the people's house, and the front end of my car was all the way up under their porch, all the way to their house. The porch was about this far from where my head would have been because I was laying down on the seat because I had passed out. I passed out because I couldn't breathe. I stopped breathing. I was Camille. I remember that. I had pneumonia first time. Let's see. If aliens invade, I think we will die. I think you would die because, first of all, and I want everybody to listen to me to realize this. First of all, don't think aliens are human. Don't think that they think like we think. See, we got morals. You know what I mean? We got a code. You know, aliens think we ants or bugs, insects, or virus. You know, so what do you do if you got a bunch of bugs in your house? You step on them. You know, they think we roaches. Okay, so you got to start thinking like that. Anytime the aliens come, I'm just saying, don't think they thinking like we are human. They're not human. They think of us as bugs and insects. And what do you do with bugs and insects? You eliminate them, you crush them. So you use anything you can. They will probably use poison. You know, they probably gas a lot of people if they don't want to destroy the place they're at. Or they probably use some kind of laser light beam, you know, like giant magnifying glass burning ants. I mean, but you got to start thinking like it'll be a total annihilation. Like U.S. is invaded by Russia or so. You know what? Russia don't have really the manpower to do it by itself. If Russia want to come over and invade us, Russia need help. In a straight up fight, Russia won't win. If nobody can beat the United States in a straight up fight, and that's the bottom line. Nobody. But if there's two or three of them, it's just like any other fight. You know, you got two or three people to jump on you. It's gonna be a rough fight. You might win, you might not win. But if you do, you'll teach them a lesson. If the alien invaded, I think we would die. Yeah. How much longer you think The Walking Dead will? Next year is the last year for The Walking Dead. This season just ended. The next season, I think this is 11. Next 12. When they say 12, that's the last one. They already announced that, and then they're just gonna concentrate on the two that's out there, and then they're gonna probably move those the curls, the